This is Chris Potato, so like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Potatoes, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll be down there in the description box, and I'm here to do my AEW Dynamite February 8th, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about AEW Dynamite. Now, we kick off the show with the first match of the night. It was the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF, versus Kanosuke Takesha in a world title eliminator match, and it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. There was a cool sequence when they did on the top turnbuckle with Kanosuke clotheslining MJF. MJF done like a backflip, he landed on his feet, and then they was just going back and forth at it. That was pretty cool. MJF was going after Kanosuke's arm majority of the time, at one point locking on Salt of the Earth, up until Kanosuke reverses it, rolling him up for a pin, but MJF kicked out at 2. During this match, MJF hurt his knee, where he was trying to do like a knee drop onto Kanosuke, but Kanosuke moves out of the way, and MJF hit his knee onto the mat, and then he picked up Kanosuke, hits a powerbomb onto him, onto that knee, and it hurt the knee even more. MJF got back up, Kanosuke got back up, and then Kanosuke hits a blue thunder bomb onto MJF, pinning him, but MJF barely kicking out at 2. And then we see Kanosuke hit the knee to the face onto MJF. MJF was close by the ropes. He pins him. 1, 2. MJF puts his foot on the ropes, getting a rope break. And then it was just going back and forth and everything. Kanosuke gets out on the ring, climbs up the top rope, and jumps off the top rope with a swanton bomb. But MJF moves out the way. Kanosuke crashes and burns. And then MJF locks on Salt of the Earth again onto Kanosuke. Kanosuke was crawling to the ropes and everything, and as soon as he was about to get the ropes, MJF drags him back in the middle pretty much and locks on Salt of the Earth, like the 2.0 version, with him like going over his body and doing like a bridge at the same time, and he makes Kanosuke tap out. So yeah, MJF defeated Kanosuke Takesha tonight on AEW Dynamite in the World Title Eliminator. That's what happened. So yeah. That's what happened at the match. And then, after the match ended, the referee gives MJF his world title and the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And then MJF waited for Kanosuke to get back up. He pushes the referee down and then hits Kanosuke upside the head with the Dynamite Diamond Ring. And then he gets on top of him, just beating him down and everything. Kanosuke's busted open at that point. Bryan Danielson runs down to make the save. MJF quickly got out of the ring, and Danielson was checking on Kanosuke. So yeah, that's what happened. Pretty good match. I'll give that match and what happened after the match 4 stars. That's why I'll give it a really good start to Dynamite. I'll say that much. But yeah, later on tonight we'll see Bryan Danielson versus Rouge later on tonight. So yeah, Danielson's in the match. I think this is going to be his last match, and then he gets the world title match against MJF. So yeah, and then later on tonight, there's still more titles being defended and everything. But next we're going to be seeing Jamie Hayter versus the Bunny in a women's title eliminator match. So yeah, that match will be happening up next. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a one-on-one match. It was the AEW Women's Champion, Jamie Hayter, with Britt Baker and Rebel at ringside versus the Bunny with Penelope Ford at ringside in a women's world title eliminator match. So yeah, this is the second eliminator match for the night, and it was an okay match. It was going back and forth and everything. There was a cool move where we see the Bunny hit like a suplex onto Jamie Hayter onto the side of the steel steps, which was pretty cool. And then we get to the ending where we see Britt Baker holding up a sign supporting Jamie Hayter up until Penelope Ford comes up, grabbing the sign, ripping it to pieces of stuff. And then in the ring, we see Jamie Hayter hit a exploder suplex onto the Bunny, perfectly fine and everything. And then I don't know what the hell happens to the second one. I guess she was trying to hit a second one or something, but it kind of got botched. The Bunny kind of landed on the back of her head, and yeah, hopefully she's okay. And then Jamie Hayter picks up the Bunny and then hits that spinning lariat, that clothesline, onto the Bunny, pinning her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Jamie Hayter defeated the Bunny tonight in the women's world title eliminator match. That's what happened. It was an okay match, but hopefully the Bunny is okay. But yeah, I give that match 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But yeah, After that match ended, we see Saraya and Tony Storm get an interview backstage, and they was like, yeah, we seen what Jamie Hayter just did and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden they call Leva Bates, that library girl, and they pushed her down and then started spray painting her. So yeah, that's what happened there. Just stuff like that happening. But yeah, like I said, for that women's match, I give it 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But still to come later on tonight on Dynamite, we will see Bryan Danielson versus Rouge 1-on-1. So yeah, I know that match is going to be a good one, and it'll be later on tonight. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing to happen on AEW Dynamite, now I'm sorry for the music, that's if you can hear it throughout the background, but yeah, sorry about that in advance. But yeah, we get to the next match of the night. But before I talk about the next match, we got to talk about MJF. Now, MJF was cutting a promo about Kanosuke Takesha, talking about how he did pretty good, but he's not better than him and all that stuff. And then MJF starts talking about a story, talking about how he met this girl in high school. You know, they was driving down the road and everything. He was a driver. She was giving him head and all that stuff. And then all of a sudden it was raining and stuff. The hydroplane hitting a power pole and it killed the girl apparently, but he was okay or whatever, I guess. Or she was unconscious, something like that. And he was like, he had like a concussion, bloody and all that stuff. But then he said that before the cops got there, he moved her to the front, to the driver's seat, and he jumped to the passenger seat so he wouldn't go to jail and it wasn't his fault. So yeah, just made it seem like he was more of a scumbag. So yeah, that was great, I guess. But yep, that's what happened there. And then we get to the next match of the night. It was Absolute Ricky Starks versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. It was Ricky Starks versus, and by the way, if Ricky Starks wins this whole gauntlet match, he gets to face Chris Jericho later on tonight on Dynamite. So yeah, that's the stipulation for this match. But he gets to face Angelo Parker, Matt Menard, Sammy Guevara, and Daniel Garcia. So yeah, those are his four competitors for tonight. And he starts off the match with Angelo Parker to going one-on-one and stuff. It was okay. And Ricky Starks hit the spear onto him, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3, ending it there. Matt Menard gets into the ring, but he gets rolled up for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Matt Menard got eliminated. And then it became it became Ricky Starks versus Daniel Garcia one-on-one. It was pretty good. It was going back and forth and everything. They, Ricky Starks trying to beat Daniel Garcia a few times. He speared him on the ring apron and stuff. But then at one point we see the referee distracted by the Jericho Appreciation Society on the other side of the ring. Sammy Guevara is out there as well, distracting the referee. And while the referee's getting distracted, we see this person wearing a mask hit the elbow. I forgot what the Judas effect. There we go. Remembered it now. They hit the Judas effect. Now, obviously, it was Chris Jericho. Daniel Garcia throws Ricky Starks back into the ring, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the Jericho Appreciation Society defeated Ricky Starks tonight in the Gauntlet match. That's what happened. He won't be facing Chris Jericho later on tonight. He didn't even make it to Sammy Guevara, and Jericho amassed himself, and it was Chris Jericho. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. But yeah. But yep, that's what happened there for that match and what happened after the match and all that stuff. I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. So yeah, see you guys later until the next thing happens on Dynamite. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention there was another segment as well where we've seen Renee Paquette interviewing the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Billy Gunn, the Acclaim. And the Acclaim was talking about how they are the best tag team and that they'll beat the Guns tonight and all that. And Billy Gunn was saying that he knows that the Acclaim are the best tag team and he's going to stay backstage, not being near the ring. So yeah, that's what he said. And they did their scissoring. So yeah, that's what happened there. Forgot to mention that segment, but there you go. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, before I talk about the next match, there was a segment where we see Renee Paquette interviewing Bryan Danielson, which he's in the trainer's room with Kanosuke Takesha, pretty much checking up on him. But then while they was getting interviewed and stuff, we hear somebody locking the door on the other side. And apparently it was Jose and them barricading the door. Jose and Preston, Vance Preston. So yeah, they was barricading the doors so Bryan Danielson couldn't come out. Rouge came out. And then after Rouge came out, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF came out. And he tells Aubrey Edwards to start counting to make Bryan Danielson lose the match and everything. Aubrey Edwards starts counting and stuff, but very slow. And Bryan Danielson managed to break out that room, beat down Preston for a second, and then run straight to the ring. Getting into the ring, Rouge starts attacking him right before the bell even rings, and then they finally got the match underway. Bryan Danielson versus Rouge. This is Bryan Danielson's last opponent he has to go through if he wants to face MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. MJF was on commentary for this match. It was going back and forth between Bryan Danielson and Rouge. Pretty good match and everything. At one point, we see Bryan Danielson hit the psycho knee onto Rouge, almost getting the 3 count, but Rouge barely kicking out at 2. Rouge was doing pretty good, hitting the straight jacket power driver onto Bryan Danielson, almost getting the 3 count as well, but Danielson barely kicking out at 2. Danielson was busted open in this match and everything. They was both going at it everywhere on the apron and everything. But then we get to the ending where Bryan Danielson hit the psycho knee onto Rouge, pins him 1, 2, 3. It was all over there. So yeah, Bryan Danielson defeated Rouge, and now it is made official at Revolution. It will be MJF versus Bryan Danielson 1-on-1 for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, that match is now made official. That's what happened. Really good match though between Danielson and Rouge. I would give that match 4 stars. That's why I'll give it. Really good match between those two guys. So yeah. But yeah, after the match ended, MJF gets into the ring, starts attacking Bryan Danielson, and locks on Salt of the Earth onto Danielson. So yeah, that's what he was doing. But yep, he beat down Bryan Danielson and laid him out. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Just really good ones. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yep, still to come later on tonight, we'll see the Acclaim versus the Guns for the tag team titles later on tonight as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a 6-man tag team match. But before I talk about the 6-man tag team match now, we had the crew from Impractical Jokers, or whatever, talking on Dynamite, pretty much like promoting the show that Chris Jericho's going to be on there. And they said if he wants his baseball bat, Floyd, he got to come and get it or something like that. Just pretty much stuff like that. But then we get to the next match of the night. It was the AEW World Trios Tag Team Champions, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega, the Elite, versus Darius and Dante Martin, Top Flight, and AR Fox in a 6-man tag team match. And yeah, it was a AEW World Trios Tag Team Championship eliminator match. And it was a pretty good match. A few times AR Fox and Top Flight almost won this match. It became a couple of near falls. Like at one point we see Darius grabbing one of the Young Bucks. I forgot which one it was. They had him up for a power bomb, and then Dante jumps off the top rope, pretty much like with a backflip slice spread onto one of the Young Bucks with the power bomb, almost getting a 3 count. Well, actually, after that move, AR Fox hit the 450 splash onto him, almost getting a 3 count up until Kenny Omega broke up the pin and everything. But then we get to the ending where the Young Bucks take out Top Flight, and they were just left Kenny Omega and AR Fox. Kenny Omega hits one knee to the face and then hits the V-trigger onto AR Fox. It looks like it was going to be all over. He picks him up, lifts him up for the one-winged angel, but then AR Fox reverses it by rolling him up for the 1-2, Omega barely kicking out at 2, and then Omega rolls him up for a pin, like a crucifix pin, but AR Fox rolls back through, and then he rolls him up for another crucifix pin, pinning him for the 1-2-3. So yeah, the Elite defeated AR Fox and Top Flight tonight in the tag team match, and yeah, they retained the Trios Tag Team Championship. That's what happened. Really good match. If you have yet, go check it out. For that match, I'll give it 3.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But then after that, we see Stokely Hathaway get an interview, and he's talking a lot of crap about Hook and how there ain't no cracks in the firm. But while he's talking crap about Hook, Hook comes up, grabbing his arm, and he goes like, "Be cautious what you say next time." So yeah, that's what Hook did. And later on tonight in the main event, it will be the Acclaim versus the Guns for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. So yeah, that match is still to come later on tonight. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was the main event. It was the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, the Acclaim, versus Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn, the Guns, for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Now, this is the tag team title eliminator match, pretty much. Now, Billy Gunn is backstage. He's not going to be at ringside for this match. And it was a pretty good match between all four of these guys. It was going back and forth and everything. But then we get to the ending where we see Anthony Bowens, try to hit the spinning forearm onto Austin Gunn, but Austin Gunn pulls the referee and he accidentally hits the referee. The referee goes flying out of the ring and stuff, knocked out and everything. And then we see, Austin Gunn laying out Anthony Bowens. He tells Colton, give him the tag team titles. He's waiting to hit Anthony Bowens with the tag team titles up until we see Billy Gunn come running down. And at first, I'm not even going to lie, I thought Billy Gunn was going to betray the Acclaim then and here, where he helped up Anthony Bowens. It looked like he was holding him up for him to get hit with the tag team titles up until he pushes Anthony Bowens out the way, and then Austin Gunn stops in his tracks, and then Billy Gunn turns around. Then Colton Gunn hits Billy Gunn upside the head with the tag team titles, laying him out. And then the Acclaim seen that happen, and then they start going at it with the Guns, beating him down and everything. Throws Colton Gunn out the ring. We see Anthony Bowens hit, lay out Austin Gunn, and then Max Caster jumps off the top turnbuckle with the mic drop onto Austin Gunn. He pins him, but Anthony Bowens is about to pin him and stuff. He's pinning Austin Gunn after that move, but then the referee still knocked out, so Max Caster had to go out there and grab the referee. He throws the referee back into the ring up until we see Colton Gunn grab Max Caster and throw him into the barricade. The referee's counting that pin. 1, 2. Colton Gunn grabs Anthony Bowens' leg, pulling him, pretty much breaking up the pin, and then that's when we see Austin Gunn going up from behind from Anthony Bowens, but Anthony Bowens moves around him, grabbing him, rolls him up for the pin. 1, 2. Austin Gunn barely kicking out of 2, but since he kicked down and pushed Anthony Bowens towards the ropes, that's when Colton Gunn hits Anthony Bowens upside the head with the tag team titles, and then Austin Gunn rolls him up for the pin. 1, 2, 3 with a slow count, and the Guns won the match. So yeah, the Guns defeated the Acclaim tonight, and they are the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. That's what happened. Really good match, I guess. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's what I'll give it. The main event was okay. Match of the night for me, probably Bryan Danielson versus Rouge. That match was really good. MJF versus Kanosuke Takesha was a really good match as well. The probably disappointing one was probably the Bunny and Jamie Hayter, probably because of that botch. But hopefully she's okay. But yeah. But other than that, AEW Dynamite was a pretty good show. I thought Billy Gunn was going to turn on the Acclaim tonight, but I guess they probably won't do that. They'll probably be doing that the rematch, probably. I don't know. But we will see. But yeah, Billy Gunn helped up the Acclaim, and then the theme song starts playing at the end. So yeah, and the Guns walks out as the new tag team champions. But yep, that's what happened. Really okay show for Dynamite. For tonight's AEW Dynamite, I'll give it 7.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good show though. So yeah, that's why I'll give AEW Dynamite. But yeah, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos, to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll all be down there in the description box, and I'll see you guys later for this Friday night SmackDown reviews. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then.